The Curious Case of Mr. and Mrs. Parker, the guest that stayed but never left. A chilling ghost story by Mattingley-White. I'll never forget that Halloween night in 2016, which was our first year of opening. Mark and I were winding down for the night here at Plas, Tan-Yr-Allt, and the distant sound of police sirens down on the main road grew fainter, fading into the night. Then the eerie silence settled in, only to be disrupted moments later when an old green Morris Minor convertible with a luggage rack on the back pulled into our parking area. Inside the vehicle sat an elderly couple, Mr. and Mrs. Parker, looking pale and tired. They explained they had been on a long, wearisome journey and were desperately seeking a room for the night. Well, being the hospitable B&B owners that we were, or are, Mark checked them into our last available room, and I think at the time it was Miss Hilda's, with the assurance that we'd see them at breakfast in the morning. The Parkers' arrival was strange, odd. The atmosphere seemed really heavy, as if something was amiss. However, we retired for the evening, expecting to see them at breakfast. But morning came, and there was no sign of them in the dining room. Mark and I shared concerned glances, and we headed upstairs to Miss Hilda's room. To our bewilderment, it was as though the room hadn't been touched. The bed was neatly made, and the bathroom looked like it hadn't been used. It was as if the Parkers had never been there at all. I clearly remember that this left us feeling really uneasy and as if something wasn't right. Our cleaner, the lovely Liz Back, turned up shortly thereafter, and as always she had some intriguing news to share. Liz is the area's oracle, a reliable source for local tidbits. She asked, "Did you hear the police sirens last night?" "Yes, we did. Why?" "Oh, there was a terrible and awful accident involving a green convertible Morris Minor," she revealed. "It was dreadful. The occupants were involved in a fatal collision. There were no survivors." Mark and I exchanged worried glances. "That's really strange," we murmured. A couple, Mr. and Mrs. Parker, checked in last night." Rushing back to Miss Hilda's room, a sense of unease gnawed at us. Inside the room, we found chilling confirmation of Liz's revelation. The bed was undisturbed, the sheets smooth and untouched, and the bathroom remained unused. The same people who had perished in that fatal collision had inexplicably spent the night here at the Plas. The story of Mr. and Mrs. Parker has never left our minds, serving as a haunting reminder that on Halloween night, the boundary between the living and the dead can blur, and we may unknowingly host unexpected guests from the other side.